as per drama, we are now meeting here. So when Brother Harsha asked me to share my experiences, so what I could summarize, I got a touching with Baba, which I've never given any topics over online sessions, even in pandemic or anytime soon. But I just felt, it is sharing a personal experience. So I just felt, why not to share with the family? It's my family, and share it with full heart, with open heart, with true meaning, with all the truthfulness. I had been, this long journey of 22 years in Kumar life has not been very easy. It was a rough ride, and ups and downs. Everyone has this share. So I too had my share. So the one thing which I got how did I decide this topic? It's just I asked Baba what to share. Say so. Then I felt that Nishya Buddhi Vijayanti. This is how I could summarize my whole journey till now. So ever since I have been with Baba, from my youthful age of around 18 years, when I knew Baba, first contacted Brahma Kumaris. So I felt that this faith in the intellect has helped me a lot. And for the outside world, God is not omnipresent. We say it in Murli, Baba is not omnipresent. It is a wrong notion. But for Brahmin child, I think God is omnipresent. And to me, Baba is omnipresent. And this is where this term came to my mind to how to share. So Nishchay Buddhi Vijayanti is a term was used in the war of Mahabharata, especially used in Gita, where Lord Krishna tells to Arjun, okay, there are only two kinds of people. One who has a Vinash Kale Viprit Buddhi Vinashanti, and again Vinash Kale Prit Buddhi Vijayanti, Nishchay Buddhi Vijayanti. So, in the end of the times, the one who has a distracted intellect or opposite intellect will cause an end to themselves, while those intellect which are loving, which are attached to me, will be victorious. So this has been my, summarizing the whole journey. And now let me share, for which I am here today, to share my certain, situations in life. As I said, I came to Baba at the youthful age of 18 years, when I was studying my second year of engineering. Just before that, let me share with you a very interesting thing, that what made me accept that Baba is a point of light and he can come and go anytime. So because I think most of Brahmins also have difficulty in getting this notion, okay, Baba as a point of light comes and goes, and whenever he wants, wherever he wants, he can do that. So this story for my life starts here. Let me share the brief background. So I was born uh, in a very middle class, and almost a middle class family in a region in near Calcutta. If someone who knows the eastern region of India, it's Calcutta, which is a Bengali region. So I was born in a very middle class and devotional family. And my devotion in this life had been to a demigod, and I will explain you what I mean by that demigod. So uh, Baba keeps on saying this, sometimes soul comes, some evil souls or some good souls or some, you know uh, earlier it used to be in India. It was a very common tradition, when people left body, people would, call them, invoke them, and those souls would come into the home into some of their other bodies, I mean in some of the relatives body, and say, even in today's Muli, which you'll read tomorrow, Baba has mentioned that. So in my region, in my district, and that's a small district, there used to be an old lady. And the old lady was a devotional person, of course. And in that lady's body, a soul would come. And that we consider, our local people considered it as a demigod. I mean, what did it serve? I mean, when the soul entered that body, and I've seen that the the uh, the the lady started behaving certain in an awkward way, like rotating her head, and a whole all her hairs would, turn round and round. So we would understand, okay, the soul has come. So especially on particular days of the week, like say Tuesday, and alternate days, Thursday and Saturday, the soul would come, and then the local people would gather there, okay, to fulfill some of their wishes. I mean, how would that help? Say someone has a family problem, or someone has a trouble at home, someone has a relation problem, or someone have lost something. My key has lost, my this thing has been misplaced. So when they would come to that and ask for that, the soul would reply, and would reply very justifiably and very convincingly. And those small issues got solved, okay, with that, in that gathering. So I used to be a very good devotee of that. I fell in, because I was getting something, because my certain wishes were getting fulfilled. So I thought, okay, I don't seen God, but okay, let me consider this as God. And I worshipped her full faith. I mean, with a full faith, full devotion, I worshipped her. So this was my devotion in this life, where I would understand a soul can incarnate in a body and can cause some solution to the problems that we generally deal with, common people deal with. So that was my first interaction, and then that's how my bhakti started, and I think it ended there only. So what happened is, I I took her blessings before going to my. I was very fairly good at my studies. So uh, in India, there are engineering entrance exams, and you have to score good marks and then score high to get into good college. So luckily, I got a chance to study the next two IITs, which is an NIT. So I got a chance, and I thought the her blessings will help me. Even my studies are of course there, but some blessings from my devotion have always helped me. So I took her blessings and then went to a far off region called Warangal, which is around 1,000 kilometers away from my home, to study there my engineering, which in electronics. So well, I started joining that and my courses, but I would suddenly feel homesick, okay, because it was far off and I was going for the first time away from home. So whenever I would invoke that lady, that demigod, okay, to come and help me, I got that feeling that it has come and helped me. For example, I was one day feeling very feverish. Okay, so and I was alone at my hostel room, and I called my mom. Okay, I'm feeling feverish. Can you go to that lady and convey this message that I'm feverish, and can she do something for me? And then I lied down in bed, and it was, I think, some Saturday at evening time. It was off for me, and I was lying down my bed, and I was feeling feverish, and I suddenly felt that my whole body is shivering, and it's as if something has come inside me. I've got shiver. My whole body was shaking, and after that, I was normal, and I soon felt my fever is gone. And then again I called back my mom. I mean, I felt this. So she said, yes, the lady there was saying to me that yes, I have traveled to that child of mine who was remembering me, and I cured him. So wow, I mean, this could happen, and this I felt. So it was quite natural for me to understand. Now I'm coming to the point so where understanding Baba became very easy for me. So the moment one of my friend in my college, in my same stream, electronics, was Baba's child, and he and me were, on the same stream of electronics. So what I used to do, I used to go in my morning hours to pray at the hostel turf, at the terrace of my room, hostel room, and he used to come there for meditating. So he saw, oh, this is a very nice guy. I mean, a soft target for understanding Baba, because anyways, I'm meditating, but I'm meditating on a different purpose. So he said, why don't you come to a Brahma Kumari center? Which, because I never knew what is Brahma Kumaris, but he gave me this knowledge. The God comes incarnates on earth. So I said, well, yes, I saw a lady in which the soul comes and incarnates. So why not God? God is also okay for me. God can also come. God Shiva comes. Yeah, so well, fine. God Shiva comes. So let's go and see there what did happen. So very easily, very honestly, with a clear heart, I went to the center to learn meditation, because I was anyways feeling lonely at such a distant place. So I needed something. Maybe my spiritual that seed was already there for me to take up spirituality. So I went there, and luckily the center was just at 2 kilometers away from my hostel gate, so which was easy for us to go daily afterwards. So I started going to the center, and it was a very alien place, in the sense the South Indian languages are not known to the North Indian people in India. You will see there's a lot of difference between North Indian languages and South Indian languages. So and the language there was Telugu, and I had no idea what Telugu looks like, feels like, or understands like. But I think that the speed of spirituality was, the Babas already started pulling me. So I remember when Didi, when the instrument sister used to start giving me the course, she used to meditate for 2 minutes before giving the course. Say she's doing Atma, so she will close her eyes in front of us. We three will be there, and she would remember something. And I never knew what she was remembering. And then she started the course. So what impacted me, her that 2 minute of remembrance, because I never understood what she was telling. And today, if you tell me what did you understand from the first 7 day of course, I would say I don't remember anything. I don't remember at all anything what she said, but I still remember that she spent 2 minutes of meditative moments, and after that she started the course. And after the course, she would allow us to go to the Baba's room to sit in silence. So that space of silence was pulling me, in those days. I remember I was least interested in what she was saying me, what course she will give it to me, but I was interested when she would finish the course and allow me to go to sit in the meditation room. And there, it was Brahma Baba's portrait over that, still that translate of Shiv Baba. And Shiv Baba used to very much attract me. I never looked at Brahma Baba. I thought he's something, some person sitting there. I didn't know what who Brahma Baba was. But that point of light, and when I was made, I still remember that when I used to focus on that point, the one that you're seeing in the screen, I used to see the point, and after that I closed my eyes. I felt like I was crossing through a black tunnel, and I was crossing through the black tunnel, and gradually a light is coming over me, and at the end of the tunnel is a big white fresh light, blooming light. And so that kind of experience I used to start getting, and that continued pulling me. So that's how I started first relating to Shiv Baba first, and gradually with Brahma Baba. So now starts the exams, and we started, and I'm again saying that, uh, w- even in the path of demotion, if I follow someone, I would follow it wholeheartedly. So when I was following that lady, I was following that lady completely. There was no other god for me. Now when I understood Baba, it's Baba. So intellect, this developing this loving intellect or a faithful intellect was easy to me. Maybe it's my nature, or maybe I'm an easygoing nature, so that you believe quickly. Maybe that was what I started believing Baba very quickly, and I also got good results out of it. And I'm very happy about it, that I do not have any distracted intellect or a questioning intellect. I do question, but I do question to understand Gyan more more deeply, or through the scientific angle, because we are all students of science. So I love understanding Baba, drama, and every cycle in a scientific way. So this is how my journey with Baba started, and soon came the papers. So let me tell you some of the papers which I had gone through, and it's a learning lesson for me. So when I went back to the hostel, those hostel days, I'm talking of 2002, on those days. So I saw, so people seeing me getting into white dress, going every day to somewhere, cycling around, coming back very happily, going happily. So I think they kind of felt that he's moving to a distracted path, because spirituality at those times, you know, who do spirituality, who goes to the life of spiritual, only who has suffered any loss, or who are not happy with their life, and that kind of notion. You do spirituality when you only at old. So people, I mean, young age people, like my colleagues, my friends, my seniors, started telling me, what are you doing? I mean, are you distracted? Are you not following the path? What you should follow is a student life. And then I felt that, and it's a kind of a revolting thought which came to my mind. And I tell you very honestly, I saw people from a middle class family. They're getting computers those days, those PC laptops. There was no laptop those days. There was PCs, and in order to buy a PC, you have to spend quite an amount of time, quite an amount of money those days. 35,000, 40,000. You get a minimum quality configured PC. And I saw that they are asking their parents to get those PCs so that they could code, they could do some useful work. But the realization is, I saw and I felt, कि whatever they are not supposed to do, they are doing everything with those instruments, with those sadhans. and what they're supposed to do, no one is, hardly anyone will be doing coding or practicing or some electronic stuffs, nothing. And those are the peoples who are telling me, you seem to be getting into a different path. Spiritual path is not for you right now. It's kind of a revolting thought for me. Ki, you are doing what you're not supposed to do, and you are telling me to not to go where I'm getting love from God, and I'm all the happiness from the world, and it's the meditation hours, such peaceful hours, and you're telling me not to go. I then This revolting thought came to me, then I should follow this completely. I would not deviate from this, because I firmly understood that the simple fact that in Kali Yuga, if something you're doing and people are obstructing, it means it is the right path. And in Kali Yuga, if you're doing something and you're not getting obstructed, it means it's not a right path. And we are all, very sure about it right now. If something you're doing and you're not getting obstructed, it means it's not the right path. You all agree with me, right? So, and we all see in all our the lives of the very great people, we see everyone have suffered, and without suffering, without patience, without facing those obstructions, no one has no one has gone beyond their heights, no one has reached those heights. So it was a very clear for me that this is the right path, and why shouldn't I? If I'm not, if I'm gaining my if I'm gaining energy, if I'm feeling happy, if my studies are going well, why should I not do, and why should I follow their path? So that kind of revolting thought came early on me. And then there were certain things which came up. So I'll tell you one big incident, and again, like holding the hand of Baba made me to pass. So on those days in my college in NIT, there used to be a gathering, and we are supposed to be in the gathering. We cannot be out of the gathering. So what do you mean by out of the gathering? Means if you do something against that group, then they will call you state out. What do you mean by state out? It means that you are out of that gathering and no one will help you. No seniors, no juniors, no college friends will help you. So you are all alone in that campus. So that's called state out. And that happens when someone does very, very awful things, So I thought, I got the feeling that because I'm not now following their path, maybe they will make me a state out, okay? And I have to be all alone in this journey of studies and whatever in my life there. So what I thought, by invoking Baba, calling out Baba, and taking his advice, in my meditation, I said, why not I propose themselves? Okay, make me a state out, but I'm not going to follow this, follow your path. I'm going to be a different altogether. I'm going to be I follow the spiritual path, because I was good at studies also, no. So no, just that it was not a it did not have a very bad effect on others. I mean, they all understood that he's good at studies and he's also doing spirituality. So what's wrong? Let him go. So, but I made this decision to let me call out to them and then say that I wish to do this. If you don't want to keep me in your group, please make me straight out. But I'm happy. So, so after a evening powerful meditation, I called up a group meeting there. So I made my room vacant. I called up all. There were 13, 14 my colleagues there, my friends actually, my studying in the same college in my same year. So I said that, see, I have received God. If you want to understand God, I'm very happy to tell you. But I have received God. I have got God. I'm meeting with God. So do you want to understand? Then I'm very happy to tell you. But if you think that I cannot stay with you, then make me a state out. But I'm happy. But so let's end this chapter here. And surprisingly, what they decided, the whole group decided, no, 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 Vineet, you do whatever you want to do, but you do one thing only. Don't be too much alienated from us. You join us, our celebrations, our birthday bashes, our outings, and then we are happy, and you continue. So I did well, very well. So I made my path clear from those, obstructions, and then that was my second year, and the next 2 years were quite good, because I was following what I was supposed to do. I remember one incident. This incident is when I understood Baba. I was so enthralled, with Baba's Gyan knowledge. Though I would say it was childish also, because you don't understand fully in 2 years. But then you try to say to people, right? God has come, and in those childish languages, which people might think that he has gone mad or pagal, what they say. So after lunch one day, I went to my senior's room to help him or to make him understand that God has come, because he was quite a bit interested. So I spent around 1.5 hours or 2 hours to explain him what is God, how God has come, how Shiv Baba has taken Brahma's body, and it was all in those childish languages, those immature languages. I tried to explain, and initially he was saying yeah, 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 but at the end he said to me, "Yeah, you are a foolish guy. You are really a mad guy. Yeah, I don't believe what you are saying. So you just leave me out." Oh my God. And then, I had so much of energy telling him, spend my 1.5 hours, talking about God and Baba and everything. And then his last words hit me so hard that I was just shaken. Okay. I understood there will be people who will not accept God as is as easily as we have understood. So I went to my hostel room, and in my terrace, in the afternoon I was crying. I was crying, saying and crying to Baba, Ki Baba, I spent so much of effort telling who you are, and this guy said that you don't exist. Your knowledge is all absurd. So I was crying. I mean, not that, but I was very upset and emotional. And then I heard a voice, and the voice said uh, in Hindi, "बच्चे ज्ञान दो, but expectation mat rakho." So you say share the knowledge in whatever way you can, but don't expect. And that day and today, after that, to however people have explained Gyan, explain in the trains or anywhere in my relatives, I've never expected them to, and that has become a very good lesson for me, because that is right. The service we have to do, but there should not be this expectation that he would just turn to Baba's child like all of us we did. And that kind of expectation is too foolish in this age. So that was a good learning which has kept on me. So after that, however, whatever way I have done service, I've never expected that he will turn. If people have come after 7 day course, they have come, they have become Baba, so it's good. If they have gone, it's also good. I mean, it's their faith, is their bhagya. I mean, you can't do too much about it. But yes, that learning has stayed with me. So this is all was going on with my in my college life. And then one last incident which I still remember is very very helpful for me till now. So in my final year, okay, we were supposed to do a viva, a project viva, and a project submission. So me and my that friend, other friend, was with Baba's child. We used to, on the weekends, we used to go to center for services, and for all the pradarshanies, going around for helping the Baba's work. And and actually speaking, we did not do too much. We did not take too much care to complete our Viva project and everything. So we were actually lacking behind that. And then the day came where we have to submit the project. Okay. So, and then we were hurrying. We three were hurrying. The group people were hurrying. Okay, how do I do? Can we copy some other's project and give it? So things like that will start coming up into mind, and somehow we you managed to submit one project. Okay, but then it was not easy, because at the end there will be a viva for the project we did. And in the uh, viva there will be three people. One will be the HOD of the department electronics, one will be the toughest teacher of the branch electronics, and one will be an external candidate. So both three were coming, and we have to present our viva project, and then there will be questionnaires. And then we too we hadn't done, and we accept that we hadn't done, because we were using our time and energy in some other alaukic sevas and Baba's work. And so what to do? So the day came, and we were waiting on the lines, and we saw the previous batches. Whoever went there came out crying. Whoever went there came out crying, because they were getting, they were beaten blue and black there. No, there's no uh, no going away from that. So we were seeing this. So I was seeing this, my friend was seeing this, because in the same group, what we did is, okay, leave everything, we had gone, so let's remember Baba. So we both, while people were all, studying, mugging up, all the Viva projects, we were remembering. And I think we remembered Baba heartily 30 minutes. We were all, I mean, eyes were open, and we were just remember. We were completely silent. People were wondering what they're doing. They're not even revising. But we were, remember, because everything is gone out of hand. And then a magic happened. And the magic is like that. Before our turn came, the HOD of the department got a phone call. And we saw the peon came in and he called out the HOD. He said, I have to go. And the HOD went out. We saw that. And I was just, realizing the fact, okay, Baba is helping. The HOD went out. Second, now, the hardest teacher, the strictest teacher who was in the panel was a chain smoker. And after all this, all this 2 3 interviews, he's decided to smoke. He just went out. We saw that. So the only left was the external one, who is a very humble guy, because he's just come to from external. He doesn't. He was just as a someone who has to be there present as a nominal head. And then we suddenly went inside because we saw this and we went inside so that we finished. We presented the topic in 5 10 minutes before they both came down again. And the external teacher was quite humble, and he was, because ours is a very reputed college, so they thought that okay, people will do good. I mean, nothing to question. So, and then our question answer was finished. And by the time by the time it finished, they both came out, okay, came back. And they had very little time because already the viva was over. Whatever we had to present, we presented. And they had a few questions. I think we could answer, we could not answer, don't remember exactly. But our this struggle, this exam was over. And then we came out. So, so all in all is now, so we what I felt is, now Baba is everywhere. So Baba helps the child at every moment. And as I said, he is omnipresent. So whenever you call him, he comes down and helps us. Maybe this helping you people may not like it because it's a fact that we did not prepare well. But he knows, right, what we were spending our time for. We were not spending our time for some other activities, but yeah, for godly services. So this kind of experiences created more and more loving intellect for me with Baba. And I really started falling in love, because whatever he does, he does very wholeheartedly for all his child. So whoever remembers him is great. I mean, he's really a great source of sustenance, great source of power for all of his Brahmin childs. Yeah. So I think we are 8:35. We want a break of meditation, and then I will continue the journey.
Sure,
Harshavai? Yeah.
definitely.
Okay. So we'll be playing, or I'll be guiding the meditation.
Yeah, we do a little guided meditation and silence will be good.
Okay. Good. Let's sit back. Just make yourself very calm, quiet. Let's focus on the middle of my forehead, shining point of light. In a single second, let's go beyond this planet, beyond this universe. Let's connect to Baba. I feel his energy flowing inside me. Om Shanti. So continuing my journey. So after my college years, I got my first job in Bangalore, and due to some reasons, I would say law of karmas and other things, I lost my first job in very short time. So which was around, maybe I did 6 months. But then I realized that it was my fault at some point, that not to consult or not to have a right idea of where would my career go from those college life to this professional life. So it was my mistake, and I got the result of that. But then I was jobless for about 8 months in Bangalore. I was staying in Bangalore. My I mean, things were turning out apart. I was in the financial crisis, and there were at the back home, my father was started remaining ill because of the complications of diabetes. But those 8 months, what I never allowed to do, I never missed Murli. In fact, I was going Murli twice because I was free, morning, evening. And at some point, the teacher would say, "Did you actually memorize the Murli?" Because the next time when I was reading the Murli, almost I could remember every word of the Murli, which line would come afterward. So even at those crisis situation, I never let Baba out of my life. And in fact, I was holding his hand very tight then, because as I said, financial crisis, then emotional crisis, and then family issues all started coming. That was the peak moment of my paper in Brahmin life, I would say. So people at home were expecting that I will be earning too good. I'll be earning so much that I can sustain every one of them, because I had lucky four sisters. By the time, I think two sisters got married, two were still left, and I was the only son at home. But when this situation came, I was then, I against and started giving interviews, because my grades were high. I mean, I passed out from graduate from a good university. So there was some value with my CV, with my resume. So I was getting, but I was not getting success. As I said, drama, karma. And it happened one day, you know I went for an interview, and I did not pass that interview. I was so frustrated. I came back home, in my flat, and I shouted at Baba. Baba, can't you see this? What's happening with me? Your child. I've been doing so much. You're not even helping me out for. I'm just passing an interview. And I shouted at Baba, and remember that day. And I cried also. And as Baba said in last Murli, बच्चों का मैं रूस ना भी देखता हूँ. People get angry with me, but I also come and help you wipe your tears. I sustain you like a friend. And soon after that, I got my first breakthrough, and I got in my first job at Infosys. And most of you may know Infosys is a very good Indian MNC, and that was my good job. And thereafter, I never had to look back. I learned my lessons, and I've never looked back. And from there, I have grown in my professional careers. But that episode had taught me too much of lesson, that how should I approach professional life, how should I balance out locking and unlocking. So that gave me a very good understanding. So well, my job started, career started, I started earning, all my debts got cleared, and everything was going good. But then what was happening at the back end, when my father kept remaining ill because of complications of diabetes and everything. So while in Bangalore, he came out twice for some treatments, and we were able to do those treatment because of the insurance and the and those facilities that companies provide. So we were able to do. So that went well. But very soon, the situation came that my father could not no longer sustain the old body. But so I went back home those days, because of those were the last days of my father. I understood, we all understood, that he can no longer sustain. So while everyone was unhappy, and everyone was feeling sad, but Baba's gyan, Baba's knowledge of soul, of imperishability of the soul is Amar, Ajar, Avinashi. I was not that disturbed. In fact, I remember that in my meditation morning and evening, I used to give sakash to the soul and ask Baba, okay, can you please allow the soul to go on, move on, because the body is no longer, it will be sustaining this, because the organs are getting, you know, damaged. And one fine day, I mean, one of the, I think it was around night and Amrit Vela, at one time, at one on one of those days, on one of those times, the soul left the body. Okay, which was become, and everyone was very perturbed, disturbed, but I was not. So that also, that Baba's knowledge gave me that courage to face this situation very gracefully. But one thing has happened that night was that people knew, my family knew that I'm not going to marry, because of the the dharana of purity and celibacy that we generally follow here in all in Brahma Kumaris. So they got to know that I'm not going to marry. So what they did is, they made me out of pressure that, your father is soon leaving the body, so why don't you make a promise? You have to make a promise, because otherwise his soul will not be happy. So they forced me to tell in front of my leaving father that I would marry soon. Okay, whenever things are okay, I will marry. So out of pressure, I did tell to my leaving father, okay, I will marry. Okay, but not very very immediate, whenever things are okay. So yeah, so they think that I made a promise, but internally I never, made that promise. It was out of pressure situation, and very emotional situation, when everyone is around you and father is leaving and they're asking you to do that. So okay, father left the body, and all things done. Gradually, things going on. Now this situation of purity and celibacy came in. Everyone has to face this situation every time in the Brahmin life. So I too had to face that. So they kept on poking to me, my sisters, and you are promised your father that you would marry. So when are you going to marry? So initially I said that, okay, let me get settled. I'm not earning too much. Let me get a better job, better position, make me some, make my own home, and then we'll think of it. Yeah. So they allowed that to do. Okay, let him get. But that happened. So again, the same situation. When are you going to get married? So I said, okay. Then I created a fabricated story. I said that, okay, I'm in love with someone, but who is not here. She's studying an MBA in an outside country. Later complete that MBA, and then we will think of it. So they believed that initially, but soon they found out, no, this is also fabricated stories. So they again started pushing me, when they would get married. And my last sister, the unmarried sister, also got married in the meantime. So I was the only one left, my mom and me. So the pressure was mounting upon me. But internally, I made a promise to Baba. With this mouth, this physical mouth, I would never say, ever say that I will marry. I'm ready to marry someone. I would never say. And I kept on that promise till now. So but my mom was getting agitated, and she is a very devotional guy, but she's very angry at the same time. She doesn't like, I mean, people not listening to her, or her own son is not keeping their promises. She get very agitated. We had times at my Pune, when we were in Pune around 2008 9. There were times at Pune where she would not used to eat and drink anything for 2 days, 3 days, because I'm not ready to get married. I'm not saying yes for the marriage. So she would not eat it. So that was causing an emotional, disturbance, emotional torture, what they say. I used to go to the center. If I spend at 30 minutes extra at the center, so 1 hour was the usual time. If I spend 30 minutes for seva, she would not talk to me that day. And this would go on for every day, every day, almost every day. She would not talk, she would not eat, drink, she would not, she would not behave normal, and cause me, disturbance, agitation inside me. So that was all going on. But every time it happened, every time it happened, one thing which has helped me, I invoked Baba at the same time. Baba, come down and please let this soul be silent, be at peace. Baba, come down. And almost every time I felt that Baba had not, he himself may not have come down, but he has sent some help to me. And what do you mean by help? Is, say, when she's angry, that someone would come, some relative would come at my home at that same time, and then she have to get off that mood. She have to be nice to them because the relatives are there. Or my sister would call up on the phone, okay, how are you? And then they start talking, and then she becomes normal. Or there will be some event coming up, so we have to go together. So again, she becomes normal. So Baba said this word very recently, I mean, maybe around 10 years back. Ki, मेरे बच्चे मुझे बुलाए और मैं ना हूं, ये हो नहीं सकता. Which means if you call me wholeheartedly and I don't come, it cannot happen. It is impossible. So Baba would come every time. But this I've heard after my experiences. This, as I said, maybe Baba told it in 10 years back, but my experiences is early than this, and I have used that because maybe I have learned it from Suraj Bhai or someone. Ki invoke Baba whenever you're in trouble, and I've seen that he has come, and if even if he doesn't come, he will give you an help. So as I say to all the newcomers also, okay, I cannot make you see Baba, you cannot make me see Baba, but Baba is everywhere for us. You call him and he doesn't come, it will never happen. And this is my truest experience, which has kept me going and going and going. And this is not the only place. So this episodes, went on, and suddenly it came a peak. And the peak moment was, she told me one day that today evening I'm going to ask you again. And if you say no, then I'm going to leave you alone. I'm going anywhere. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going anywhere. I'm not living with you, but I'm leaving you. We are not under the same roof. So you decide by the evening. And it was the morning time. So I went. I had a very good, powerful meditation in the evening. Baba Center, came back. And as I said, no, with this mouth, I will never say yes. So I already decided. So it's no. So I lied down on my sofa and I turned my back towards her. I was not facing her. She asked me, "So what have you decided?" I said no. No. And it turned and I just kept it. And I never knew. And after some time, some moments after, when I turned back, I found her to be gone. I mean, she's not there. I never knew that. I never thought that she will do that. So the gates were open and she was away. And I don't know where she had gone because I had no idea where she would go. It's a entire Pune city. Where would I go? I mean, and it is already 5-10 minutes over before I realized that she is gone. So immediately I called up my Nimitta sister, my instrument sister, and she was in Madhuban then. So she told me, okay, Vineet bhai, take one any senior person with you. Go to railway station. Go to railway station with a bike or with any car, and then see. And I took one of the older BK family member, and I went there. And I saw that she purchased a ticket, any rail ticket, and she was waiting for any train to come, and she would board the train out of that anger, out of that frustration. She would board any train, and she would have gone. So see what Baba is helping. I mean, this would happen, but not no train has come. She hasn't boarded any train. Otherwise, it would be I mean, a uh, very mentally very disturbing fact for me as well as for my whole entire extended family, because the sisters will tell to me, no, why did you allow her to go, and all this would come up. But then what happened, she got calmed down because the older family member, BK family member, calmed her down, and they came back. So these all episodes have happened just for the sake that, I'm not saying yes. But as I said, as we all know, जहाँ लगन होती है वहाँ अग्नि तैयार होती है. So with Baba's love, true love, I felt that, and I realized that her mental situation gradually calmed down. And today, she is the first one to say me, "Oh, go to Madhuban. I will make your backpack ready. Go to Madhuban." So last month, I was in Madhuban for 1 month. She made my everything ready, and she went on to her Lokix because she likes there, and I was in Madhuban. So such a sudden, 180-degree shift in the pattern, and I realized this. And how did it happen? I don't know, because Baba was, touching her. Maybe my Sakash was working, or maybe my family members, BK family members, Sakash, and she turned out totally very understanding. And now she tells me, it is good that you haven't married, because now the situation that she looks around, of the family members of the ones who got married, they're marrying one day, they're divorcing the next day. They're marrying one day, they're flying away. There's another marriage. I mean, they're marrying double. All my family members, all my sisters are not happy. Some of them have some or other situations, and now she tells me, it's good that you haven't married. If you had been married, then maybe I would not have been with you. So see, see the drastic change which Baba, causes. And again, I think it's Baba's love, and how our mentality got turned you know, and she was ready to come to Madhuban. We had a I also took her to Madhuban, see Madhuban, and then she was happy to see that Madhuban. And now she tells others, ki go to meditation, learn meditation of Brahma Kumaris, if you're not married, don't marry. If you are getting married, it's okay, but if you're not married, don't get into this trouble of getting married. Thus these changes have come. So why wouldn't I say love? I mean, why don't say to Baba, ki, it is a wonderful that you have given, the life that you have given, the journey that you have taught us. Why wouldn't we fall in love with Baba? It's everything. I mean, with so much of love, with so much of affection that he helps us. He's helping us in the every moment of. He's helping me in my professional life. He's helping in my Lokik life. So why shouldn't we completely fall in love with Baba? Actually, it's not fall in love. Rise in love with Baba. Fall in love is for others, but let's rise in love with Baba. Okay. So and now, I mean, this is what happened with my Lokik life regarding my marriage and the decision to be remain celibate. That's what happened. Even in my Lokik life, I mean Lokik personal professional life, Baba has made me to travel many cities, many countries of the world, and I'm very fortunate for that. But even in the alien world, alien countries, wherever I face critical situations, Baba has come down and helped me. And I tell you two of the situations. My first travel was in US, in Chicago, due to my Lokik work, and and generally, because it's my first travel, and as a Brahmin, we carry all our food stuffs, all our utensils also, because I didn't know what would I get. But there I got a good arrangements because it was apartment studio where everything was there. But still, we generally carry all our food stuffs. So while returning back, I was carrying all my unused stuffs. Like say, I haven't used a packet of sugar, so why should I waste that? We generally bring it back, and while bringing it back, my suitcase become overloaded or outweight, and it was overweight. And the check-in airport, well, back in, they will not allow me. They're saying it is 32 kgs 30 kgs allowed, you are 32. I will not allow you. You have to pay 100 USD as an extra charges. And I said, Baba, I cannot pay 100 USD for an extra 2 kgs. Let me open and throw away some stuff. And you see, my own baggage, it stopped opening. It refused to open. And what would I do? I mean, my friend was waiting at the counter. He's waiting for the flight to board, and here I'm struggling like a foolish person, with a big bag and my own bag. I'm not able to open, and it got stuck somewhere. And I said, Baba, I'm not going to pay $100. I will leave the bag there, but I'm not going to pay $100 for just 2 kg of it. I invoked Baba, and you very surprised. A very young officer, stalwart officer, comes and he asked me, "Do you need any help?" Police, airport police at the US. Do you need help? Yeah, I need to open this bag. Okay, give me the bag. He takes that bag with some instruments. He opens and gives it back. I throw away my 2 extra kgs of whatever unwanted substance. Maybe I remember 1 kg of sugar. I remember other kg maybe of lentils or dal. I threw it away. Happily walked down. So who would help? Who would help anyone outside country? And that to opening a bag, I don't think today anyone will do it. Anyhow, whatever the reason, no one will do help you to open a bag. And then my recent, very recent, there were many experiences of, in the outside countries and where Baba has helped me. I was scheduled to go to Trinidad and Tobago. It's a very small Caribbean island, Trinidad and Tobago, like a speck between South America and North America. And anyways, I carried my every stuff like I used to do. But in the hotel, there was nothing to cook. It just they gave me a small, that microwave to cook something. And in a microwave, you can't cook food. You can just have Maggie or something or noodles, something like that. But I called up the sister there in the Trinidad and Tobago. Oh, you have arrived. Oh, okay, I'm sending a brother there. And the brother comes only in 2 minutes to meet me at the hotel. And then I realized the hotel is where the hotel is here beside the seashore. You cross the road, walk 5 minutes, and the center is there. And where 1,000 miles away from Pune, you land up in Trinidad and Tobago, and the center is just 5 minutes. And then sister offered me, oh, why do you want to cook? Come here, we will have food together 3 times. And such was the love. Who will give such love? I mean, except Brahmin family, except for Babas, No one is able to share this. No one. And we are so fortunate that now we have family all across the globe. You go somewhere, you will find a BK, you will find a family, you find a Baba's home. And this is how Baba sustains. I went to Lagos, and Lagos is some South African, in one of the South African city or the country now. So, and such was the situation there, even if you have to go out, you have to carry some armed men, because there's a loot there. You cannot go out alone. You have to be in group, always be in a group there. So I landed there again for 3 months of my journey, 3 months of my stay there. I landed there and I reached my apartment. And the moment I entered the apartment, I saw there's already a family there in the apartment. So there was a 3 room apartment, and my company accommodation manager allowed me to go there to stay. And as I entered, I saw a family already there, and the family was as I say, it was not to just say, but just to relate those facts, it's a Muslim family, and they are all used to using non-veg in the kitchen. And he showed me the kitchen, and I saw there were those pieces of the non-veg was all there stuffed. The refrigerator was stuffed with non-veg. The kitchen was in non-veg, and then they're asking me. They don't know what BK life is, but they're asking me to stay there with them 3 months, and then you use that kitchen alternatively. You do a time slicing and use that kitchen. I said, I just landed after 18 hours of travel. I said, Baba, I have come holding your hand. Now please help. And this is what is going on. I just landed. I'm not even refreshed. I'm not feeling fresh. I'm tired. And you land up me in a place where you can't even have a cup of tea also. And my internal concern, Baba started, Baba, come down and help me. I don't know. I've come here holding your hand. Help me. And I was talking to that person who was my company mate only. So I was talking to him. Okay, I've come from Pune and all this, and I was remembering Baba and giving him the drishti. Suddenly, a thought emerged in that person, and he called up his manager, and he asked him, Ki, why did you allow this new guy to come in? Because we are already a family here. Why did you allow this new guy to come? Either you shift him, or I will leave the company tomorrow, or I will leave for India tomorrow. So what do you want? you know I was talking to Baba, and I was seeing this scene. I became a sakshi drishta. I became detached. I was seeing how Baba's magic is unfurling. The moment I was invoking Baba, and this thought coming to this guy, ki I shouldn't be put up here, I should have a different room, different apartment. And he only calls his manager. Then after that, the accommodation manager calls me and says sorry to me. I've asked your forgiveness. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have put you in this room. There's another room. There's another apartment which is free downstairs, just below this. That room is free. That is vacant. You go inside. I mean, see the wonder. At one moment, I'm pushed into this, and I thought I had no choice, because in a alien country, what would I do? And you have just landed. You just have to accept what it is. Accommodation, it's not my control. But then Baba made things work in 10 minutes. It was a play of 10 minutes. I realized what's happening. And within 10 minutes, everything was sorted. I got a new room, fresh apartment. I went in the apartment first, chose my best bedroom, best viewed bedroom, best corner of the room, and I was happy there. And later people came, which were all, single, which were not married or something like that. So we stayed there very happily. So all in all, if you see this, I mean, what's happening here and what's happening with my life is, uh, I'd again summarize that, okay, when you have a faithful intellect, when you have all the surrenderedness to Baba, Baba keeps you intact. Baba helps you at every walk of life, and that this is my experience had been with Baba, and I keep on. Now coming back to, I mean, I think we have to end. Already past 9. I mean, you're 7:30, I think. So
No, no, no. We have 20 more minutes. Yeah.
20 more minutes. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Now let me share my experience of Madhuban. These are all my personal experience which I've shared. And one thing that I still realize, that why Baba had been moving me places, why Baba was showing me places. I never asked for Baba. I had seen snowfall in Chile, my first snowfall in Chile. It felt like I am seeing a Harry Potter movie at a hotel, and it's snowing, and it's all mountains. It's like I'm moving in seeing a Harry Potter movie. I had seen in Hayat in Trindade. I was given a room at the top floor room. beside the seashore. And the first day I landed, the moon was all bright. It was a full moon, and the whole ocean, and my room. I felt like I should not sleep. I should meditate. And of course I did meditation, maybe some extended meditation, because I would not get an opportunity next lifetime opportunity. I mean, such a heavenly view of this. And who would deny that these opportunities have come to me, and are very well planned in the drama. In Trinidad, the work visa was only for 21 days, but my work wanted me to stay there. So my company said, why don't you go out for some days and come back again, because then again you will get 21 days of working visa. So where would I go? They planned me, you go to New York. And in New York I went to Peace Village. For 7 days I have been in Peace Village with Sister Kala. I mean, not a single money spent from my pocket, and Baba had shown me all these places. And then I realized why. And it's a very internal feeling, that probably in my early young days, and I still do it, even my evening, I make sure that I give sakash to nature. I give sakash to nature. In the morning, I give to myself my karmic accounts, but in the evening, most of the time when I sit, I give sakash to nature. Maybe because of that helping of the nature, Baba has shown me places. Baba has wandered me. 7 days of Peace Village, such a scenic Baba's place, where there are no boundaries of our center. It looks like the whole world is ours, and the whole Brahmin family can accommodate there. It's such a beautiful, nice place, and without boundaries. I mean, such a lovely scene to be there, such a lovely place to be there. So all this have happened. Now coming to my Madhuban experience, in my 22 years, I think I have almost made sure that I travel Madhuban every year twice, and sometimes it had been thrice also, but twice is the minimum. So in this, I have now left the count of how many times I've been in Madhuban, but it's grace of Baba, it's help of Baba that I've been able to do that. Sometimes in Bhatti, sometimes in Baba's Milan, sometimes for any other seva. So twice, thrice. So in my early days, when I first got Gyan in my Warangal, in those days, in my first winter vacation, when people were going home, I thought, why don't you go Madhuban? Why is going home and wasting your time? I said that in my first year of knowledge, I said, let's go to Madhuban, spend some time there instead of going back home in my vacation. So I went there, and knowingly or unknowingly, I never knew, but I was put up at the service which is near Shantistam, the Tower of Peace. So Babas gave me a service at the Tower of Peace, where what would I do? I would clean that space, uh, uh, fill those water bottles, fill those buckets of water for the sisters in the training section, switch on, switch off the light at the right time, watering the plants around that Shantistam, and keep this place clean. So, and without knowing perfectly what Shantistam means, what Madhuban means, I got this initial opportunity of spending 20-25 days at the Seva there. Come 22 years later, last month, I again got this opportunity, and this is a very unique opportunity. I was working. I'm with IT. I have to work. Okay, but see the drama. I got a service opportunity at the IT department. The IT department in Madhuban. Most of you must know Shambhai, who leads that IT department. So Shambhai gave an advertisement 3 months back that they would need Sevadari on a rotation basis 1 month. So on that, seeing that advertisement at that point of time, I realized I have to take this opportunity of going in Madhuban and serving Nati Seva. And I didn't know if even it would work out or not, because I have to work also. I'm working. I cannot take a 1 month leave in from my working professional life. So I asked Shambai, what can I do? He said, come out. The seva will be to maintain that IT department. When double furnace brothers come, you have to give the voucher codes. You have to make them sit in the PC, allocate time. So I think you can manage both of them, your Lokik and Alokik. And what a wonderful opportunity. In this Brahmin life, who would give you a month for seva? And that too in the Pandav Bhavan, and that too in January, and that too in the core of Madhuban. Such a wonderful opportunity. And I took it with both hands. I went there on 5th of January, and I came back on 5th of Feb. So I had two opportunities, and 18 January has always been my favorite. remaining in Madhuban on 18 January is always a favorite because of the scent of the flowers, the whole atmospheric of changes, Brahma Baba's remembrance, and it's a very unique opportunity. So again, when you have a good faith and you believe that you can do, Baba helps you a lot, and I think it's Baba's help to call you in January month, and you have not to take any leaves. You have to manage everything, law kick, a law kick, and then uh, the whole the the whole what would say the attainment of being in Madhuban was such a lovely one. And I still feel that even putting a foot on the grounds of Madhuban, in the Angan of Madhuban, is such a fortunate thing to have. And I had this opportunity for a long 1 month. So even though I could not have long meditation hours, which I generally do when I go for Purusharth, because it was to manage my logic and also save up. So could not do long meditation hours in the morning, evening. But whatever I got, the morning meditation, Amrit Vela meditation, the evening meditation, the whatever opportunity I got to go to Baba's room, sit for 2 minutes and then fly back, rush back to work and or rush back to look after the department. But it was all very wonderful. And I thank so much to Baba for giving this opportunity. It was really, lifetime opportunity, I would say. I don't know when I would get, almost sure, for sure, next 5,000 years I will get it. But I would look forward to, even in this, Sangam Yuga, if I get this opportunity, I will again go back and held this opportunity. Such a wonderful one. So now I'm ending this, so what we have shared, what I've tried to share, okay, how my loving relationship with Baba, how my, if you say Nishchay Buddhi, I've always been a Nishchay Buddhi. Never ever have an iota of doubt on Baba's capabilities or who is Baba. Never ever. I still want to, I still do question something, and I feel all, I feel from my heart that maybe we don't know many of the things. Maybe we are under ignorance. For example, I just give a single thought. Maybe I don't know if the earth is flat, or if the earth is round. Now there is a society in US which believes in flat earth, you know? And there are a lot of notions there. But there many people believes in the earth is round, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it is good to know what is the right. Is it a really flat earth or it is a round earth? It's good to know, but that doesn't help me to connect to Baba, or doesn't, stops me from connecting to Baba. It has nothing to relation to connect to Baba or not. So that's the reason Baba doesn't even speak of it in the Murli. Baba doesn't want us to go into those discussions of earth is round or flat. But Baba needs, okay, my children should remember me, get pure, and go back home. That's what he needs. So even though I have those, concern, those knack of understanding those, but I feel that, whatever Baba doesn't want us children to know, he will never say it. Even if the cycle is 5,000 years, or what matters if it is 7,000 years? How does it matter? Doesn't matter to us if it is 7,000 years, because human mind is so curious. Even if he says 7,000, we'll still question that. Okay, why it is 7,000 years? Why it is not 9,000 years? So it doesn't matter. If he said 5,000 years, let it be 5,000 years. It doesn't help me in my stopping loving Baba. So whatever has truth he has said ultimate truth. I mean, there's no question to that. But whatever he has not said, maybe we don't know, or maybe we don't need to know. But what I feel is it's a time now to have a great connection with Baba, because we are seeing the end of times. In Corona, we felt that the mankind will, mend their ways. They will do something new. But after Corona, we are seeing we are doing the old ways only. The most crowded place after Corona was over was the wine shops and cigarette shops, and the non-vegetarian shops that we saw in India. So we already made a mind. The mankind has already made a mind. Like, we will not mend. We will not change our ways. So what's coming next? What coming next is I mean, the wrath of nature is coming next. The wrath of nature, and that's what, we all know this. We all Brahmins know this. We are lucky to know this. So what we have to do is just having a loving intellect, love Baba to the truest possible way, and have a good intellect, good connection with him. And this 31st Murli, which very much stayed with me, the 31st Murli which Baba spoke, was that have Jwalamukhi Yoga, have a volcanic yoga for your transformation. That's the idea that I carried on in Madhuban. And in my all the yogas, I try to have a loving intellect and a volcanic yoga with Baba, though I was not very successful because of my other routines. But yeah, this that idea has stayed with me, and I think this year's Purusharth for me would be to have a very good connection, volcanic transformation within myself. I know there are certain weaknesses still with me, lying with me, and I'm on my way to overcome this. Okay, that's it. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Vineet. It's beautiful sharing. Yeah, a couple of things that really stood out for me is how you redefine the phrase faith with love. It's more of a experience of love. More you have a loving experience, naturally you start having the faith.
Yep.
So some things may not be so black and white, but you start trusting and then following through and couple of things. But that is one thing. Another thing is where do we really get the strength? That part is again, it comes back to love. When you're experiencing something beautiful, even if things does not to work out and then you
Mm,
need to let go of the hardest thing, it's not a big deal because you got what you already are looking for. So love is a means of strength. Love is a the strength that we get from the love gets the courage to follow through into the unknown.
yep.
Um, mm, because things of spirituality is not black and white. It is not something that you can say that look, 1 + 1 is 2, and then this is why it is God is
Mm,
here. So we can use our worldly logic or scientific logic to some extent.
right.
After that, we need to start using our spiritual logic, which is very much backed by spiritual experience.
Yep.
You cannot comprehend spirituality with worldly concepts. Worldly concepts only can be a reflection of spirituality. Like when everyone is divine and the soul is peaceful, blissful, happy, and then you can see the whole community is happy, and then you can only see the reflection of it, but you cannot prove the existence of spirit just by the external
Yep.
things. So and that definitely needs a step of a leap of courage, leap of faith, and that leap of faith comes from love, and that
Yep.
love comes from experience, and experience comes from faith again. So somewhere it has to start. Take a
Yeah.
jump
Somewhere
start
this.
and then start rolling, and then something will start opening up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful journey. And one thing which I observed is coming from India. I was just thinking out loud recently that as Indians, we are fortunate to be part of the community where faith
It's
has
inbuilt, ingrained.
been a part of our lifestyle somehow or the other.
Yep.
You have some faith in something, and then you jump into a well and then get through the other side.
Right. Right.
So
Faith is very common. Yeah. Devotion, faith,
yeah, that goes long ways. Yeah.
long way. Yeah.
And definitely science has its own place, but when it comes to the struggles of the life, you need to have faith in something higher.
Right.
And then definitely we are fortunate to get Baba's Gyan and to follow through.
Mm. I think Einstein said, "Where science ends, spirituality begins."
When science ends, spirituality begins. That's right. That's true. That's true. And thank you for sharing your first experience. It was really beautiful. Like you were mentioning in Warangal Center when you first walked in, when the sister started the meditation course with a
Yeah.
couple of minutes of silence, and then ended with Baba's room, having that visual of entering a space where like a tunnel of light, or end of the tunnel there is a light, and walking into the light, it's a very visual experience. And then a lot of people who have near death experiences had this kind of experiences too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And I felt all my negativities are going as I was passing through the tunnel. It was not light; it was blackish. I mean, I felt all my negativities are going away in this single moment, and at the end, it was light. So I
mhm.
think Baba gave that experience.
That's right.
And to that date also, yoga has been my favorite subject. Out of four subjects, everyone has got a favorite, you know, and my favorite is yoga.
Yeah, beautiful.
And just to add to this recent experience, I was listening to Suraj Bhai. So Suraj Bhai was because initially his yoga chart was stopped. So Baba called him suddenly out of nowhere because Baba was in his room. Baba Dada came in Baba's room and he called, "Where is Suraj? Bring him Suraj." So Suraj Bhai came, after he went to sleep already. He went coming without any dressing. He came. So Baba said, "How is the chart?" "Ah, my chart is very high, good." So what about Gyan? Baba asked, what about Gyan? So Suraj Bhai said, why? What to do with Gyan? You always say in Murli, remember me. That's the ultimate. Why Gyan? Baba said, no. For yoga, you need Jnana. So Gyan. So you start churning from tomorrow. That's where Suraj Bhai just said, I started churning on Murli, and then I became what I'm now. So with Murli, so Gyan helps yoga, yoga helps dharna helps seva. All are connected.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that story.
Uh, I'll pass on the whole experience of Suraj Bhai.
Mm.
Mm.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank
Okay.
you.